And away we go.
Right. So, what is in the news today?
Well, firstly, there's this one event that is getting so much press all over social media, and I don't think it's getting talked about enough. Although it's getting a lot of attention, it's still it's actually a big deal, and it's outrageous.
An event that's getting a lot of attention is not being talked about as much. Hmm. Sounds pretty interesting. Let's hear what that event is.
I'm trying to get it up, but for some reason the app I'm on is not letting me. Well, I've seen enough social media posts about it anyway, so this is regarding this platform called Roblox.
Yes, Roblox. I've seen one of Gideon's to catch a predator style to catch a predator style videos, and yes, he addressed and yes, like pretty much he addressed the whole Roblox thing where it's like Roblox is not doing anything in regards to the child predator situation problem that they have on their platform. And whenever they do something, it's usually when the video drops. Something to that, something to that extent. Yes, Roblox is getting a lot of terrible press. They're getting attention, but it's not the right attention.
It's very bad, and
Yeah,
it's irreversible. There's no going back.
yeah, like how people say like what's that thing that people say about attention? It's like any publicity is good publicity.
Yes, any publicity is good publicity, even if it's bad.
Well, yeah, in this case, this is not good publicity at all.
In all the wrong ways.
It's publicity, but it's terrible publicity. In fact, it's not going to make people want to entrust your platform for their kids to play on and be safe. As far as video game platforms are concerned. Yeah, so they're getting a lot of press for all the wrong reasons, and they got it. They need to do something about it. They really need to do something about it. Otherwise, they're just gonna lose revenue and just users. But yeah,
Anything for the money.
yeah, exactly. They do anything for the money. Sounds familiar, but we're not gonna get into that. But yeah, it's like anyways. So what are your thoughts on this, Jack?
Well, outrage is not enough to express my opinions on the situation. The fact that Roblox are not just doubling down, but tripling down on their decision to block Schlep, the guy that managed to get 6 predators arrested for their alleged acts on Roblox. And when Roblox had caught an eye on this, they literally banned the guy. That was literally the reason why Roblox was such a safe place. It may not be much, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, and it is not that alone is not enough to comprehend or not to it's not even to the scale that Roblox have fumbled the fry bag so badly. Like a US state is calling a class action lawsuit or some equivalent that's very is it it's big. Like it's serious. A US representative is calling attention to this, signing a petition, also bringing attention to Congress about the situation. Many big content creators on Roblox that are part of the STAR program, they said, we are leaving the STAR program because of how Roblox is handling the situation. And of course, not to mention, literal oil state, Qatar, banned Roblox because of child safety. And the UK is on its way to potentially ban Roblox as well, which is not that surprising because Online Safety Act and whatnot. But yeah, this I no, I'm not gonna say that this is all a way to encourage those to connect the dots between these so-called coincidences. But oh my gosh, the law, this the story and the connections between states, countries, and big name creators on Roblox. It's just too big not to make some kind of documentary, which Chris Hansen has said he will start making. And that's another
Oh,
thing. Chris Hansen, the famous and well-known predator hunter, he announced he is going to go out of retirement and make the documentary regarding child safety on Roblox. So that is the cherry on the double banana split sundae.
yeah, man. Hey, if you're getting Chris Hansen out of retirement just to do this, man, you got a big problem then, bro. You have the biggest problem on your shoulders. And the fact that they're not praising, they're not like, they're not congratulating Slut for helping them out or giving him a position where he can keep the Roblox game safe is just baffling. I mean, it's baffling because it's like, it says something about the company entirely, but it also says something about the founder as well. And you have to question, man, it's like, is the founder down with this? Is he down with the same thing that like all these other predators are down with? I'm not saying he's down with it, but it's just a horrible look. It's a horrible look for the founder of Roblox. I mean, like it's like it really makes you think. And I'm not saying this is true. It makes you think. Did he just make the entire app? Make the entire app just to attract children? Is he down with this? Is he down with this type of stuff? But there's nothing to confirm, so I'm not going to say he is down with it. I'm just saying, if people were to come to their own conclusion, they would assume that. Is the founder okay with this? Is the founder down with this? Did he go to the Epstein Island? Like, is his list on the? Is his name on the list? But yeah, it's like all of this is just baffling. They clearly don't care about the like safety of children. They really just want money, or maybe the people down there are have their own secrets that are obviously not confirmed to be true. But either way, man, like it's just baffling entirely. And yeah, once again, Roblox could have easily done the right thing and say, hey, thank you for helping us protect the children on this app. We only want children. We only want these kids to have a good time, play with their friends, play with other people, etc., etc., etc. And they could have gave Schlepp a position there where he was in charge of protecting the youth and making sure that no predators are going after them, or making sure that I'll be honest, it's weird enough how it's weird enough that grown adults are playing that game. I won't be honest with you. A game called Roblox. I don't get the appeal. I'm not. Actually, no. What I said kind of sounds like it. But you know what? Take it as you may. I personally just don't get the appeal. I mean, something with the name Blocks in it. I mean, it sounds like it's something for kids. Does it not?
It is, yes.
I mean, yeah. It's like it just sounds like something that's just for kids. I mean, like this Blocks, toy Blocks, Roblox. It just automatically sounds like a kid game. I really don't get the appeal when it comes to like certain adults. Predators, I get why they're attracted to it. It's because they get to communicate with a bunch of different children. I understand that it's sick, but it's sick on their part because I understand why they're appealed to it. But like regular adults, I just don't get it. I really don't. I mean, like you can play like any other game. I would say Minecraft would probably be like one of the games you can play. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think adults are big into Minecraft. I still don't get the appeal. I mean, I kind of do, but I kind of don't. It's kind of 50-50 with Minecraft. But yeah, because it's been around for that long, I somewhat get it. But either way, for Roblox, I just don't get it. Like if you're not a predator, I don't get the appeal. But either way, Roblox needs to do something about this. Otherwise, it's just gonna go out. They're gonna go out of business. And who knows? Maybe they might catch the CEO in the act as well. Um, I'm not saying the CEO is down like that, but who knows, man? There are probably people there who have deep, dark secrets that they don't want the public to know. And with Chris Hansen on the scene, yeah, like those secrets will be exposed with People like Schlep and Gideon on the team, but yeah, stuff like that will be exposed. So yeah,
There
thank
will
God for
there
that.
will be no story. There will be no global story in the history of pop culture that will ever achieve this scale for a very, very long time.
Yeah, no, I agree. For a very long time. I mean, man, this is just a story. Really, just look back at it and think about because it's like it's just a terrible situation to be in. They're gonna have to somehow do some form of damage. But even still, actually, you know what? Even if they wanted to do damage control, it's too late. The damage has already been done. The damage has already been done. They're known as a platform who allows predators to like run, roam freely and hurt children. That's what the platform is known for. And will they be able to shake that off? No, they won't. Actually, no. The only way that they can shake it off is if they shut down their company completely. Shut down Roblox completely, and do something else. I don't know, or just sit on the money that you've already made and invest it, and just make sure that your wealth doesn't run out. That's all the CEO can do at this point. Or if you can somehow fix it, if you can somehow fix this broken situation, then by all means do it. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe it'll win. Maybe it'll die down. But this story will be on the internet forever. It's not going to be erased. This is going to be what their name is attached, unless they buckle down and ban every predator on them.
It
I don't
just makes
know.
sense. It may not be much, but at least it's better than nothing.
Like if you can ban a good amount of if you can ban those people who are strictly on Roblox just to go after children, shoot, it can be I'd say 100 in a month. That's something. There's probably still a whole lot more, but that's something. It's better than doing nothing. It's better than doing nothing. Like even just jumping on it and banning like 10 to 20, that would show you that would show like the people that you at least care a little bit to do something. Saying, oh, it's happening slowly but surely. Where we're gonna ban every pedophile on this app because it's like ultimately speaking, it's just yeah, that's the only thing you can do. Just completely take action, ban these creeps from interacting with children, or I don't know, be extremely secure. Like there needs to be a section where children can play with children and adults can play with adults. Because once again, I still don't get the appeal here with Roblox and adults. But if adults like playing it, then adults should play with adults and children should play with children. Even doing that alone, I would say you'd have to do a lot to make sure that the adults cannot get into the kids section and the kids cannot get into the adult section. A whole lot of procedures would need to happen. Even if you have to take a picture of the, even if you have to request a picture of an adult thing, it should not even have to come to that. Come to that. Obviously, it should not have to come to that point. Or just completely ban adults from playing in general. Something needs to happen. But nonetheless, let's just hope and pray that something happens. All right. But yeah. Anyway, they just have to do something about it. Otherwise, it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse for them. But yeah. Is there anything else in the news?
Drought, dams, and diplomacy. Afghanistan's water crisis goes regional.
This can't be good. This does not sound good at all. Let's hear more.
Afghanistan has been pushing for water sovereignty by launching infrastructure projects to harness precious resources in the arid territory, sparking tensions with neighboring states over shared rivers. Central Asian states have expressed concern over Afghanistan's Kosh-Tepe mega canal project that could divert up to 21% of the Amu Darya's total flow, further depleting the Aral Sea. Iran has repeatedly demanded that Afghanistan respects its water rights over the Helmand River, charging that upstream dams restrict the river's flow, while Afghanistan insists there is not enough water to release more due to climate pressures.
Very interesting. I will say this, man. Um, I'm just gonna hope that everything goes well. Honestly speaking, it sounds like something like very, it sounds like a serious issue. I would hope that no wars or anything like this on this. What do you think?
Honestly, I'd say the same thing. And also, I've heard a couple of years ago, there was this YouTube video about, I'm not sure what the name of the project was called, but I can remember the visuals of it. There's this contraption, or this, I wouldn't say a new invention, but there is a system where you get you get this you get coupled bags on a piece of a very long wooden stick. You plant them on the very high altitude hills or mountains, and overnight or over the next few days, the bags can collect water from the air. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but what I do know is slowly over time, the bags attached to the sticks, they collect whatever humidity or condensed air that the bags can capture, and they turn it and they convert it into clean, drinkable water. And not just drinkable water, but water that you can use to water your plants and also clean your vehicles and wash your house. So if Afghanistan can do something similar or get whatever team is responsible for that, then not say it's going to be fixed in an instant, but over time, the drought problem could easily be resolved, and no more will Afghanistan have to rely on whatever rivers are within its borders.
I honestly agree. There's not really much to say. Yeah, all of that is true, and all of that should be done in order to do something great. Once more, I just hope that no one breaks out and awards just because of this interaction. I believe that this can be resolved with words and with some compromise on both each side. Yeah, I honestly just hope things go well for the long run. Reporting on another war. That'd be really cool. Yeah, what else in the news?
Over 300 protests held Saturday against Trump redistricting push.
Of course there was. Let's hear more.
Over 300 protests were held Saturday in 34 states across the country against a proposed Republican redistricting plan backed by President Trump that could net the party 5 additional seats in Congress. The protests were organized by groups like the Texas for All Coalition and the Democratic National Committee to combat what they view as an attempt by Trump to take Congress back by hook or by crook, by silencing the voices of communities of color. Trump dismissed concerns about the proposed Texas map, describing it as a very simple redrawing where Republicans pick up 5 seats.
Say this, the protest, what some people would call it very admirable. Will they work at all? Nope. Unless you actually go far and do some. Ultimately speaking, yeah, I don't think anything will really get done. And yeah, it's just people are just gonna protest about anything. But at the end of the day, we have Trump for for another couple of more years. So it's just best to just endure it. So it's all over. I don't think anyone. I don't think anyone is really gonna be is really gonna be satisfied with what Trump does or what the next person does. Which is why I don't necessarily care. They're gonna do something right. They're gonna do something wrong. That's pretty much how I see it. And once more, the protests aren't really going to do anything unless, bigger actions are taken. And yeah, That's pretty much all I gotta say about that. But is there anything else in the news?
Andrew Tate forced to give police £180,000 over supercar.
Really? Huh? How come?
Andrew Tate was forced to hand over £180,000 to Devon and Cornwall police as a deposit on an Aston Martin supercar. In December 2024, around £21 million, credited to multiple accounts, had been laundered to fund the Tate brothers' extravagant lifestyles. Detective Superintendent John Bancroft stated they aimed to demonstrate the Tate brothers evaded taxes and laundered money, succeeding in forfeiting nearly £2.7 million of criminal funds.
Ah, the Tate brothers. This was specifically only one Tate, right? Or was it like both of them?
They said it's both of them.
Okay. Then Tate brothers, man. What are you really gonna do? There's not really much I can say about that. I mean, it's just something that I don't know. I really don't know what else to say about this. I mean, they're still gonna be rich. Right? They're still gonna be rich. They're still gonna do what they're gonna do. None of this is gonna change. Like what they say and how they proceed. What I'm trying to say is what I'm trying to say is they could have reported on anything else. They decided to report on it. Okay, he paid some money to the officer. So what? Anti-Tate's still gonna be anti-Tate. Not much is really gonna be affected on his end. He's gonna be rich. Still gonna be successful. Still gonna be saying what he says. I'll be honest. I have not really been. I haven't been keeping up with Anthony. I'm gonna be honest. But I would assume he's still talking about the same thing: masculinity, self-improvement, pushing his university, and yeah, I would assume he's talking about that. The last time I really heard of Andrew Tate was when he was allegedly going to run for run for what do you guys
He
what
was
do you guys
running
call
to become the next UK Prime Minister.
yeah, but then that didn't go anywhere. That
That's true,
literally did
yes.
not go anywhere. But website and everything, that did not go anywhere at all, whatsoever. That's like the last time I really heard of Andrew Tate. Other than that, yeah, good luck to Andrew. You know, all we can do is hope and pray that he changes in some way, shape, or form. Obviously still have some of the values that are correct and but change some of his other values that are just flat out degenerate, just flat out stupid. So yeah, good luck to the Tate brothers. I know that I'm gonna continue to do great things, whatever those great things may be. But yeah. Is there anything else in the news?
Arsenal capitalise on Bayindir error to beat Man United.
Alright, let's hear more about that.
In their season opener, Arsenal began their quest for the Premier League title with a 1-0 win at Old Trafford after Bayindir's mistake allowed Calafiori's goal. Under pressure from William Saliba, Bayindir flapped at Declan Rice's in-swinging corner on August 17th, allowing Riccardo Calafiori to bundle home at the back post. Despite splashing out £1 million on new forwards, United fielded Brian Mbeumo, Matheus Cunha, and Benjamin Sesko, but struggled to score against Arsenal. United captain Bruno Fernandes said his team created lots of chances and need to be more clinical after Patrick Dorgu's shot hit the post before half-time. Ahead of facing Fulham at Craven Cottage, United's manager hinted at Andre Onana's potential return next week as they seek their first points of the season.
All I gotta say is, I don't really have an opinion on this. Do you have anything on this?
Yes, I do. Now, firstly, it's the first game of the season. It may look bad now, but you don't know what the next few matches are going to be like. It may look bad now, but things will improve for United. And maybe same old for Arsenal, like the last 3 seasons, getting second place, like they always do most of the time. But yeah, it's the first match day of the season, so anything is possible. You never know what results could come out of the Premier League, given it's the highest ranked soccer football league in the world.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that all sounds pretty good. And yeah, much more I don't really know about. I don't really watch sports that much, so I don't really know what to say.
Fair enough.
But yeah, like that all sounds. Yeah. But yeah, it sounds pretty good.
It does, yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else?
Let's see. US-India trade talks scheduled for August called off.
All right. Let's see why it was called off.
The US cancelled upcoming trade talks with India that were scheduled for August 25th to August 29th in New Delhi. The US has imposed a 25% tariff on Indian exports, with an additional 25% penalty tariff expected on August 27th over India's purchase of Russian oil and military equipment. India has called out the US and EU for continuing to trade with Russia, while criticizing India for doing the same.
Pretty interesting. I would like to see how this is all going to progress. Will it progress greatly or will it progress badly? It's definitely something. That's worth talking about. Do you have any initial thoughts on this?
Well, other than what you just said, I will add on regarding criticizing one country for trading with Russia and India also doing the same. So what? If you don't like it, then don't talk about it. And if you really don't like that country trading with another country, negotiate something where trades like that don't even happen. I'm not an expert on diplomatic trading or international trade, but I'm not going to argue with who trades with who, even if you don't agree with whatever decisions the country's governments make. However, trade with other countries regarding particular resources that is most valuable to many nations, it's inevitable. And unless other countries also possess such valuable resources that other countries ever so desire, then what's going to stop other countries from trading with bigger nations that have so much of that resource already?
That's true. In some situations, like this is non-negotiable. So speaking of non-negotiable, in other news, if anyone claims that his fights are staged, then they will be sued. You didn't think. What I gotta say about that is has any fighter really done that? I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure there are a ton of boxers out there who are good fighters or who have fights that look staged and people have claimed that they're staged. Has anyone actually ever done that in the history of boxing? They would do a person if they said that their fights are staged.
Not that I know of.
Whatsoever. Me neither. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I would say if you know that your fights aren't staged, there's no need to sue anyone. Obviously, if you're suing people for your fights being staged, then they're either one, staged, or two, I don't know, maybe you're just insecure.
Or just a sore loser.
Either insecure or sore loser. But yeah, it's just kind of sad. I'm not saying these fights are staged, but I'm saying if you're doing all of this if you're doing all of this just because people are saying your fights are staged, you're just insecure, or your fights are sore loser, or your fights really are staged. But once again, I'm not saying that they're staged. It's just a thought. But anyways, is there anything else in the news?
Greenpeace stages Anish Kapoor art protest on UK gas platform.
Right, let's hear more about this gas.
7 Greenpeace activists protested by spreading a blood red stain on a UK gas platform as a work of art by Anish Kapoor called Butchered. The artwork aimed to visualize the damage inflicted on humanity and Earth by emissions from the fossil fuel industry. Kapoor and Greenpeace urged the UK government to impose new taxes on oil and gas companies to fund climate-impacted communities.
Very interesting. Do you have any initial thoughts on this situation?
I don't have any strong opinions on the story whatsoever, but I know Risk would.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, he definitely.
Oh yes.
Yeah, honestly, me neither. But yeah, let's get ready to the next.
Alright then. OpenAI staff looking to sell $6 billion in stock to SoftBank.
Yeah, you said $6 million. Six
6
billion.
billion.
Got it. Okay. Let's hear more about this news.
On Friday, OpenAI staffers plan to sell around $6 billion in shares to investors including SoftBank Group, Dragoneer Investment Group, and Thrive Capital, valuing the company at roughly $500 billion. Since late 2022, OpenAI's valuation has surged after launching ChatGPT and securing a $40 billion funding round in March at a $300 billion valuation, with an additional $8.3 billion raised earlier this month. OpenAI doubled its revenue to a $12 billion run rate in the first 7 months, and CEO Sam Altman wrote, "We for sure underestimated how much some of the things that people like in GPT matter to them." The proposed sale would allow employees with at least 2 years of service to monetize a portion of their equity, but negotiations remain in early stages and figures may change. This move could cement OpenAI's lead while raising questions about innovation, ethics, and economic stability. If finalized, representing one of the largest employee-led secondary sales in the tech sector.
It does sound like something very interesting. Very interesting for everyone involved. So, that being said, that's more wisdom to work. A lot of money, that's a lot of money. I just would like to see that this all turns out. Keep praying and hoping that everything turns out amazing, to say the least. First, you know, at the end of the day, you would want to assure your future after, like, that you're a company. So let's see what happens next.
Absolutely.
But yeah. Yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Chinese firm plans world's first humanoid pregnancy robot.
I'm sorry. What?
No, they literally, yeah, that's literally
They made the first pregnancy robot.
yes.
Hmm. Like, when you say pregnancy, you mean like track pregnancy or the robot can get pregnant?
The robot can get pregnant.
I'm trying to wonder how that would work.
That's what I want to know.
I'm just trying to wonder how that would work. Would the kid show up? Would the kid be half robot? I'm so confused. How is that? How is the robot fertile? First off, how is the robot even at all fertile?
Well, here's the twist. It's not that the robot is able to reproduce. The robot is designed to rehabilitate the natures of reproduction. Like, the reproduction from humans is going to work the same way. It's just the men get the wiggly stuff from wherever the no area is, and I am not sure about the women's side of things. But one thing's for sure that I this is not clear because I don't know that stuff in general is very complicated. But one thing's for sure, whatever the process is for a man and a woman making love and producing a child of their own, I think whatever the natural process would that be would then be reverse engineered in a way that will apply to work for castration to happen within the robot.
This is baffling. I'm not gonna lie. But let's get right into the head. Let's get right into the story, though, because I'll be honest, we're just talking about this whole thing being. I actually want to hear them. What did they have to say about
A Chinese tech firm is racing to deliver what could be the world's first gestation robot. The idea from Kaiwa Technology, based in Guangzhou, involves a humanoid design with an artificial womb embedded in its abdomen, intended to carry a fetus through 10 months of gestation and deliver a baby, according to Chinese media outlets. Stated for debut by 2026 and expected to sell for under 100,000 yuan, around 13,900 US dollars, the robot aims to offer a pregnancy alternative for those who wish to avoid the burdens of human gestation. The announcement has triggered intense public discourse, with ethical unease to hopeful possibilities for the infertile. Recently, Chinese researchers introduced GEAIR, the world's first AI-powered breeding robot capable of autonomous cruising and cross-pollination to cut costs, shorten cycles, and boost efficiency. The bold vision of a humanoid surrogate pregnancy robot was presented at the 2025 World Robot Conference in Beijing by Zhang Keifeng, founder of Kaiwa Technology, and affiliated with Nanyang Technological University, according to ECNS. According to Keifeng, it is not merely an incubator, but a life-sized humanoid equipped with an artificial womb in its abdomen, capable of replicating the entire process from conception to delivery.
I'm just gonna say this. There's definitely gonna be a lot of happy men that will finally lose their virginity. I don't think that even counts. That should not count at all, right?
It's complicated
Right? It
because
really is. I
is
don't
it
think
is
that's
it actually is it still their child even though most of the most of the process of reproduction was not done within a woman's belly? Like, I am trying to get an understanding of this to the best of my ability. However, it's too early to say how this will even work and how people would even react to this, other than women who are unable to give birth would likely benefit from this because there are women that are unable to reproduce and give birth. So for those kind of women, that this kind of technology would benefit them the most.
Mm.
It's a lot to think about.
I would say this, man. It really is a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. It really is. I still don't know how that would work, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some excited men that are very excited. They're very excited about this. I'm pretty sure there's some men who want a child, but can't get girls or have the courage to go up to that girl and say, hey, I want to be with you. Or, I want to be smart. Not say that exactly, not say those words exactly, but just kind of make it. Well, we're just gonna have to see how this goes and where this goes because it's weird. It is, but it's interesting. So let's see where this goes because I'm curious. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Meta plans fourth restructuring of AI efforts in 6 months, the information reports.
All right, let's hear more.
Meta is planning its fourth overhaul of artificial intelligence efforts in 6 months, dividing its new AI unit into four groups. CEO Mark Zuckerberg is intensifying efforts on artificial general intelligence to create new revenue streams for Meta. Meta has secured financing for data center expansion and is increasing capital expenditures to build AI infrastructure.
AI. It's always a topic. AI is eventually going to take over completely. The world's just so obsessed with AI, aren't we?
Yep, everyone's
Kind
excited
of sad.
because the possibilities that it can do that would likely, I wouldn't say put us out the job, but at least we don't have to do this. We don't have to do all that stuff ourselves because AI would likely do that for us. It may sound good in the short term, but it then becomes a problem if people become too reliant on it and they say that this technology is so good, why not expand it and scale it across the world? And then how do we continue with life if there's AI that can do factory work, there's AI that can do website design, and there are different AI language models that could do a lot of technical aspects that we could still do right now.
That's true. Eventually, people are just going to get so lazy that they're just going to rely and put their faith in AI a lot, and eventually they're going to be out of a job. It's not exactly the win that we would want. It's harmless now, but what's going to happen like later on? That's the question that is to be asked. But you know, obviously we're going to figure that out once we cross that path. For the people who have not thought about that before, we'll figure it out once we cross that path. We're thinking about it right now. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. But yeah, and ultimately speaking, we're going to just be able to. Actually, I really have nothing else. I really have nothing else to say. We just have to be careful. That's pretty much the bottom line. We just have to be careful, and that's it. And if not, we're just going to we're going to lose our jobs to technology, and we're going to ask ourselves what went wrong. We know exactly what went wrong. We put too much faith in AI. We put too much faith in technology in general to the point where it's like, we got lazy. That's where we went wrong. So, at the end of it, we're gonna have to take responsibility. Some of us won't, but some of us will. But let's just see what happens again. Anything else in the news?
Hurricane Erin downgraded to Category 3 could still bring swells. Rip currents.
What is with them? What is with their obsession with naming hurricane? Hurricane Erin? Okay.
Yeah. I once knew a girl named Erin. She was kind of cool, but that's just me. Anyway, after quickly intensifying into a Category 5 storm on Saturday, Hurricane Erin is now deemed to be Category 3, forecasters said on Sunday. Although the storm is now expected to remain offshore, AccuWeather warned on Sunday that Hurricane Erin is still posing a significant risk to lives and property because of swells, rip currents, and dangerous surf. The hurricane is currently expected to pass the east of Turks and Caicos Islands and the southeastern Bahamas. A tropical storm warning was put out for Turks and Caicos Islands, while a storm watch is in effect for the southeast Bahamas.
Well, I'm just gonna hope that every day is down and Hurricane Erin. I don't know nothing about hurricane. I'm just gonna say that I hope people stay Ultimately speaking, we've been hearing about hurricanes all year. We've been hearing about natural disasters all year. We've been hearing about a lot of things. So I'm just gonna wish the best for the people involved in hurricane. What's next? Hurricane Cindy?
Maybe.
Yeah. Imagine if we reported something next week that was called another hurricane that was called Hurricane Cindy.
I think they name hurricanes in alphabetical
Maybe
order,
what?
so after Hurricane Erin, we could get Hurricane Florence, perhaps.
We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
Denzel Washington says he doesn't care about cancel culture. Prioritizes faith.
Who does? Who does now in general? Good for him. I'm glad he doesn't care about that. Let's hear more about this. Let's hear more about this news. I'll be honest. Who cares about cancel culture? Who really cares about cancel culture?
Who knows?
I feel like the people. I feel like only the people who have YouTube channels or who has a public figure care about cancel culture. Now, if you're a completely child-friendly content creator, then yes, you probably should care about cancel culture a little bit more. But if you literally just have nothing going on and you just have a regular job, I would say to a degree you should still care about cancel culture, but at the end of the day, you don't really need to care about it. But anyways, yeah, let's get right into the next.
When asked in a recent interview about cancel culture, actor Denzel Washington questioned the importance of public support, saying you can't be cancelled if you haven't signed up. On the topic of social media followers, Washington said he doesn't follow anybody but the heavenly spirit and God. Washington was on this press tour to promote the film Highest to Lowest, which came out on Friday. I don't follow anybody. I follow the heavenly spirit, Washington said. I follow God. I don't follow man. I have faith in God. I have hope in man, but look around. It ain't working out so well. Washington has expressed similar sentiments during other press appearances as well. Speaking on Jake's Takes, Washington said he also doesn't care about winning another Academy Award. I don't do it for the Oscars, he said. I really don't care about that kind of stuff. He added that while man gives the award, God gives the reward.
I'll say this, man, like, Denzel Washington definitely has the right attitude. You really can't have hope. You can hope that man would be better, but honestly speaking, that's the only hope you can have. It's really not worth stressing about it at the end of the day. Because ultimately speaking, yeah, it's you're never really gonna satisfy anybody. So I would say you gotta prioritize what's important. Faith, that's faith, that's history, and that's faith in general. So, good for honestly, good for Denzel Washington, man. They stopped caring about it, following God, they're following faith. That's great. But yeah, I'm glad to hear something. I'm glad to hear a guy with as much influence as him. Yeah. Is there anything else that I need?
Derelict Fortress transformed into £3 million party island.
I can one more time.
Former CEO Mike Connor bought Thorn Island, a derelict 19th century fortress near Milford Haven, Pembrokeshire, in May 2017 for £555,000. The island had lain empty for 17 years after its use as a hotel and party venue, requiring 5 years of costly renovations costing around £200,000, complicated by lack of utilities and difficult logistics. Workers lived on site in shifts while equipment and materials were airlifted by helicopter, and Connor described the build as challenging but inspired by the Victorians' construction of the fortress. Connor said the site can host about 800 people, offering an unbelievable 24-hour experience, with potential as a tourist attraction or for large events, and called it a blank canvas for future owners. Now listed for £3 million, the island features renewable energy systems, a nightclub, 40 beds, and panoramic views. And Connor hopes its new owner sustains the site and generates jobs.
Would you buy the island down there? Or any
I
island
sure
in
would.
general? Wouldn't we all? See, that's a good idea. Beyond my beyond my I'll just maybe get some. But yeah, owning an island would be awesome. I think you can do some good with the island. Also, I would say you could pass it down to some family as well. Some family as well. And it's an island. You can get off it. You can get off the island anytime. I would say if you can say yeah, we live on an island. Yeah, like, our great grandfather, bought this island, decades ago, and our family's done it ever since. Even if you wanted to just rent the island out, just for the sake of business, just for the sake of business and having people, allowing people to experience the island life, if they go for it. I think that's a pretty good deal. I like it, especially for an island of that, you know, quality. Yeah, no, quality is really what it is. But yeah, that's pretty.
Very nice.
Is there anything else in the news?
SpaceX reveals why the last two Starships failed as another launch draws near.
Why did the last two? Let's hear it.
SpaceX says the 10th integrated test flight of its Super Heavy Starship launch vehicle is set for August 24th from Starbase, Texas. A test stand explosion on June 18th destroyed Ship 36 during cryogenic loading at the Texas test stand, damaging SpaceX infrastructure. Incoming flights, COPVs, will operate at lower pressures with stricter inspections and hardware changes, as SpaceX's engineering team recreated and redesigned the diffuser failure. The FAA said SpaceX can now proceed with Starship Flight 10 launch operations under its current license, following the investigation approval. Future tests include expanding future Super Heavy boosters operating envelope with landing burn tests and targeting payload deployment and re-entry experiments, aiding NASA's Artemis 3 mission readiness.
Somebody else say this. No matter how many times it fails, it's always going to fail. Do I expect the space? Do I expect them to successfully somehow get into outer space? Not really, no. We all know why. I'm not going to repeat myself, but yeah, But hey, keep trying. I believe in you. Even if they got to outer space, still wouldn't. I still wouldn't. I congratulate them because I didn't. Cause I wouldn't believe that they can actually do it. If they somehow get into space, somehow successfully, they do it successfully, then fine, all right, whatever. But I'm trying to see what they can do. And so far, they have proven that they cannot do much of anything. I mean, they can do stuff, just not successfully launch a rocket. Ultimately speaking, we have our strengths and we have our weaknesses. So, I would say best of luck to them, though. Let's see if they can, I want to see if they can actually do it. Our limited human knowledge and technology can only do so much as far as far beyond. But yeah, is there anything else in the news?
That is us. Peace.